You look forward to going and watching them play. You look forward to mixing with other people. It is that sort of club. It's a club there that, well, in my belief, there's been no better club than Manchester United.
Do you think that David Moyes can he be as successful as Sir Alex? Is that possible?
Well, it's going to be very difficult, but I think it's only going to be difficult. He's going to get trophies. There's no question about that. He's going to make. He's going to get Manchester United playing the right way, with determination, but with flair and imagination. And I think he's. If I was picking anybody to follow Sir Alex Ferguson, I'd have picked David Moyes as well.
And is it important to you that Sir Alex is staying at the club? I mean, he's going to be an ambassador, he's going to be a director. Is that important for the stability at the club and for the continuity at the club?
Well, yes, it will help. And it certainly help him. He's not cutting himself right off, but he's having a new role. I don't think it's a role where he'll say things to the press and the media, things like that. It will be all down to David Moyes. And I think it's there if he's needed for David Moyes.
And as you watch these scenes, does it warm your heart to see so many fans who are coming out to really say thank you to Sir Alex Ferguson, as well as to salute the players?
It is a tremendous feeling of being like a former player and knowing what they're feeling. It's tremendous. And I think it just shows what sort of club it is that the fans come out like they have. I think they're very fortunate. It's a lovely summer, sunshine evening, plenty of cloud about, but there's plenty of sunshine, and the crowds are out. It's marvellous for Manchester United fans, or for any fan, just to see them enjoying it and being successful.
Wilf McGuinness, thank you very much for your thoughts there. Wilf McGuinness, former Manchester United manager, watching these extraordinary scenes in Manchester tonight. So there's a blue sky now as the champions once again parade through the city. You're watching BBC News with special live coverage of this open-top bus parade to celebrate Manchester United's 13th Premier League trophy. But it's a very special open-top bus parade because it is, of course, the last one with Sir Alex Ferguson as manager. He's announced his retirement at the age of 71, and so as well as saying thank you and congratulations to the players, the fans are saying goodbye to Sir Alex. Let's just take a quick look at the route of this open-top bus parade as it snakes its way very slowly through the tens of thousands of people. It left Old Trafford a while ago, not too long ago, along Bridgewater Way, Chester Road. It snakes its way through Deansgate and ends up here where we are, Albert Square, the Town Hall, which is where a band will be playing. I'm not sure whether the band, which are the Cortinas, are to Sir Alex's taste. They're certainly pretty loud when we were listening to them doing a sound check a while ago. But anyway, that is the entertainment that awaits Sir Alex and his squad. Wayne Rooney is on board the bus as well. And Wayne Rooney got a few boos, in fact, when they set off from Old Trafford, because he's said that he wants to leave the club, and that's still very much up in the air whether that will happen or not. That's really in the in tray of the new manager, David Moyes, a man cut from the same cloth, people say, as Sir Alex, a fellow Glaswegian, a fellow Scot, somebody who has served with great distinction and longevity at Everton Football Club. Not quite the same length of time that Sir Alex has been here in Manchester, of course, but still very much Manchester United going for a sense of stability and continuity. And Andy Swiss actually just talking about that. Of course, people said they could have gone for Jose Mourinho or one of the other famous names of European football, but by going for David Moyes, you do sense that they are wanting to continue in the same vein, the same spirit, the same style as Sir Alex.
Well, that's right, Ben, yes. I mean, there was talk about Jose Mourinho, but you suspect that perhaps Sir Alex Ferguson, certainly the people here at Manchester United, didn't want a lot of the baggage that comes with him, and also the fact that he's often regarded as someone who works best in 2 to 3 year cycles. What they wanted is someone like Sir Alex who potentially can come in and be here for many years. And you look at what David Moyes has done at Everton. He's been there for 11 years, shown real loyalty to that club, and that certainly would have been part of their thinking when they were appointing him. And he's cut very much from the same sort of cloth as Sir Alex Ferguson. He's a Glaswegian, of course, like Sir Alex. He's a man who has a tough, steely character, brooks no nonsense from his players. And when you're taking over from such a tough act as Sir Alex Ferguson, they probably felt that only someone of David Moyes' character would be capable of it. It'll be very interesting to see how he copes.
And Andy, just as you watch these scenes along with us, I mean, the numbers out on the streets, difficult to judge how many, but it's a huge turnout, isn't it? And a great tribute, of course, to the club, of course, to the team and the players and the superstars of Manchester United, but really, at the end of the day, a tribute to Sir Alex Ferguson as well.
Well, that's right. It was a spine-tingling atmosphere at 6 o'clock when the players walked out onto the bus, and then, of course, finally Sir Alex Ferguson. Old Trafford was packed with thousands and thousands of fans, scarves, banners, all bearing Sir Alex Ferguson's name. And, of course, as you say, it really is a tribute to the 26 years, the 38 trophies that Sir Alex Ferguson has achieved here at Manchester United. And certainly, in modern football, it's very unlikely we'll see anyone ever manage that sort of tenure again. More than a quarter of a century at a single club is an extraordinary achievement, particularly when you bear in mind those early years of struggle. In fact, if Sir Alex Ferguson had been taking over now, it's very unlikely in the modern world of football he would have got 3, 4, 5 years to win that first trophy. But what a wise decision it was by Manchester United, because how he has served them over the last 26 years. I was at Manchester City's victory parade this time last year. They were estimated to be about 100,000 out on the streets of Manchester then. It'll be very interesting to see how this compares with that, because certainly this is a final chance for the fans to say farewell to the man who really has been the rock of their club for so long, and certainly he'll be delighted by the numbers that have turned up to wave him goodbye.
And of all who will, Alex, I suppose we should include we journalists, because he's been great copy. He hasn't always been too friendly to certain journalists, it's true, but he has been good copy, hasn't he? I mean, and he's given us the whole lexicon of football terminology: Fergie time, the hairdryer treatment, squeaky bum time. He's been a fantastic entertainer for the media, shall we say.
He has been hugely entertaining, yes. The words "football bloody hell," which he famously uttered after the 1999 Champions League victory, that's gone down in history. And the noisy neighbours of Manchester City, that was how he referred to them as. They, of course, won the Premier League title from Manchester United last season in gripping fashion. A lot of people thought that had United won the title last season, perhaps Sir Alex might have retired then, as it was only the drive to win it back off Manchester City that propelled him forward. And how they have done it in style this season. City, frankly, did not come close. United won really with games and weeks to spare. It has been the perfect finish to what has been a fairy tale career in many ways for Sir Alex Ferguson. Yes, he would have liked another Champions League triumph, I'm sure. The way that they went out to Real Madrid in controversial circumstances here with that sending off, that clearly will rankle with him. He didn't talk to the media afterwards. Perhaps in hindsight, knowing that he was going to retire at the end of the season, perhaps that was why the pain was so tough for him to bear. But hopefully that won't be in his mind now as he sees the thousands of fans who have turned out to wave him goodbye. We've had some pretty horrible weather here in Manchester today. We've had thunder, hail, lightning, torrential rain over this afternoon, but now it is a clear blue sky over Manchester as Sir Alex Ferguson bids farewell to the fans who've cheered him over the last 26 years.
Andy Swiss for the moment, thank you. Let's talk to Richard Conway, our sports news reporter, who is also with me here in Albert Square by the town hall, where it's sunny, but it's pretty chilly actually, pretty brisk wind blowing, and but that hasn't deterred any of the Man United fans who have turned out in enormous numbers. Richard, you might think, I suppose if you're a fan of another football club in this country, you might think Man United fans would get bored of success and bored of coming out to open-top bus parades like this, but I get the idea that actually they're not bored of that at all. They're going.
Indeed, Ben, I've just been out into the crowd to talk to some of the fans who've made their way here to central Manchester to see this, and for many of them, you know, they have not only known Sir Alex Ferguson at Old Trafford, they've only known a period of success for this club. So lots of them are coming out to see this. They see it as a moment of history for the club. They see it as a moment of history for English football. And lots of them too bringing their children as well, determined that they will be able to share in this moment of the club and a footballing history as well.
Stay with us, Richard. We're just going to get a quick word with the former Manchester United player, Andy Ritchie, who's joining us. What is your sense of what this means for Manchester United, Andy?
I mean, looking at the pictures and sensing the atmosphere, I'm not down there actually at the ground zero, if you like, but it's absolutely amazing. It's a fantastic day. Sir Alex will be feeling all emotions, I think, and also you've got Paul Scholes there, who's been with him for so many years. He's last season as well. It's momentous, and I'm really glad that everybody has come out to show their appreciation of the best manager in football, I think, that's ever lived.
Yeah, and really, we won't see the likes of him again, will we? That's what everybody's saying, and it's hard to imagine how any manager in the future, really in almost any country, could repeat what Sir Alex has achieved. A quarter of a century of service with one club, 38 trophies.
It's amazing, isn't it? Amazing record. No, you won't see that again. You won't see a manager at nearly 27 years at one football club. It's just unheard of because there's no patience in the game. I know Sir Alex has mentioned that in his press conferences this season when asked about other people and other managers being sacked, and it will not happen again. Even with the longevity that Manchester United want in managers, I still believe in my heart that I won't see another manager do 27 years at one single football club.
And is the fact that he is staying at the club as an ambassador, as a director, is that important for continuity, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think he would have had it any other way, and I don't think the football club would have had it any other way. He'll still be there. He's already quoted as saying he won't be going into the dressing room, he won't be interfering in the day-to-day running of the football club when David Moyes comes in next season, and I think that's correct. David will be very pleased that he's got him there, that he can sound off him. I'm not sure that he'll be going in and asking for advice. I think he'll be asking about certain things and then making his own decision on what the manager has said to him. But it's certainly great that he's still going to be around the football club, and who would be a better ambassador for Manchester United than Sir Alex Ferguson.
And you will remember, Andy, when he took over in 1986, Manchester United were 19th in the old First Division. Gary Neville said that they were a laughing stock at that time. I'm not sure if that's a bit harsh, but the transformation is extraordinary, isn't it? I mean, 27 years later, 13 top-flight titles, 38 trophies later. It would would be a hard book to have believed back in 1986 that that was what the future would bring.
Well, I think that, you know, the manager has said that to stand still is to go backwards. I think from day one he moved the football club forwards. I mean, I was still playing then, and there was you know, a great rivalry because we had got into the Premier League as well. We'd had games against them as I was playing for Oldham against Manchester United. Of course, they knocked us out of the FA Cup twice, which I wasn't too pleased about, but if anybody was going to beat my club, I'd have wanted it to be Manchester United. But he has just been a breath of fresh air, and he's had to move with the times. He said that football has changed so much from when he took over here at Old Trafford. He's had to move with the times. Players have changed, the game has changed, the way players train and get, you know, ready for games. He's had to move with that, and he's become a modern manager in that respect as well. And I think that's why he's had such a great career. And as you say, so many trophies, 13 Premier League titles to himself, but Manchester United an unprecedented 20 league titles. It's just phenomenal.
And would you didn't play under him, I mean, he came a little while after you left the club, but would you like to have played under Sir Alex, given what we know about the way he sometimes dealt with players, the hairdryer treatment and so on? I mean, he might have been a pretty scary prospect in the dressing room.
I think he's mellowed a little bit of late, but I would have loved to have played under him. I think he would have been a manager that would have got the best out of me. Hopefully I wouldn't have had too many hairdryer moments, but I couldn't guarantee that. I think he's been one of the managers that I think probably a lot of players around the world would have said, who would you want to play for? And I think the first words out of their mouths would have been, I want to play for Manchester United and Sir Alex Ferguson, because he is the one that drives you on. He expects the standards that he sets. He expects you to come up to those as well, and I think that is what pushed so many players to become great under Sir Alex Ferguson.
And some people have said actually he created teams that were occasionally more than the sum of their parts. In other words, he did engender that winning mentality. It's, you know, some of the teams obviously they had superstar players, but he made them as a team absolutely unbeatable, and you know, often his trademark was getting those late winners, and that was testament to his winning mentality and his team's winning mentality.
I think they never say die, Manchester United, and they keep going until the final minute. But one of the biggest things that I remember, you know, as a player and watching them and talking to other managers and coaches later on when I became a manager and coach, they were amazed at the amount of work and the work ethic that he got. Really big name players, and you only have to look at Robin van Persie, who's just come in this season, and the work ethic that he has got and the work that he does on the football pitch for the good of the team. That was what he got out of great players, and that was the key to Manchester United's successes. You know, they work their socks off, and they are a team. They work for each other, and that's what's got them the trophies.
And interesting, when you look at his 26 years, I was reading that in that time, Into the Land, for example, had 24 different managers. Chelsea had 16 different managers. Manchester City had 14 different managers. All in the time that Sir Alex was at Manchester United. Really incredible.
It's amazing. I mean, you talk about continuity, and that's what Manchester United want, and that's what they look at. And I think the manager's always mentioning longevity. You know, recently when he signs players, he wants them to be there for a long time, and the majority of the times he could not give up the chance to sign Robin van Persie. And maybe we would say, well, you're not going to get much longevity out of Robin, but he's still got a good few, 4 or 5 years yet. But he just signs players and he works for the team, and that's what he's instilled into everybody at the football club.
And he bought some expensive players like Van Persie, but he also got some cracking bargains. Peter Schmeichel, I think, was about £100,000.
Well, he's had some great buys. I mean, one of my ex-colleagues, I work with him now at the football club on match days, Dennis Irwin. You know, he has said that he was probably pound for pound one of his best buys ever, and I wouldn't disagree with that. But he has got some bargains. He's had to pay money for one or two, but I think they've always come off, really. He's not made many mistakes in people that he's signed, and I think that's the sign of a great manager and a great staff behind him, and I think that would be one of the first things that he would say. He's had such a brilliant staff that has helped him out through these 26, 27 years. You need that solidarity behind you, and I'm sure that he'd be the first to congratulate those as well that have been with him for so long.
Are you at all worried that David Moyes may not be able to fill those enormous shoes?
No, not really. I think they are enormous boots, and you know, I'm sure David has so many emotions going through his body at the minute. He's got to get Everton to their final game. He'll have elation, he'll have trepidation, he'll be worried, he'll be probably feeling sick, he might not be sleeping, but I bet he can't wait to go and fill those boots. And let's you know, not make any bones about it. The person that comes in at Everton have got big boot to fill because he's done so well there. And so it's going to be interesting times because it's a brand new era. Obviously the manager's going, David Gill is going at the end of the season as well. So there's a new era there with a manager and a new chief executive coming in, and obviously one of the players that's on that coach at the moment, Paul Scholes, is retiring as well. It's exciting times. I think that, you know, everybody will open arms to David Moyes, and let's hope that he does well. He's got to hit the ground running. He's got a big problem to solve as soon as he comes in, which is the Wayne Rooney saga at the minute. So he knows the player. He's got that to come to. Will he be relishing that? Maybe not. But that's what comes with the job at Manchester United. Big problems, little problems. You've got to set to them all.
And do you think part of the reason that people are so emotional perhaps about Sir Alex leaving is that he does recall, you know, the great managers of the past, people like Bill Shankly and so on, who have become legends in the game, and really Sir Alex is a living legend in a sense. You know, to be there, to see a stand named after you at your stadium, to see a statue outside Old Trafford, it must be extraordinary, really.
You don't like to say it, but normally stands get named after people who have passed away, sadly. The manager has got his own stand, he's got his statue outside of that stand as well, which is very, very well deserved. I think it is. He is a living legend. As I said earlier, that he is the best football manager I think the world has ever seen. He's the most successful. He's managed to stay at one club, as we said, for 27 years, which is unprecedented in itself anyway in modern day football. He's just a magnificent man, and I do wish him the best in his retirement. I'm sure he will be at every single game, if not most of them. And let's hope that he can enjoy watching it. He said that he's not really enjoyed football for 27 years. I'm sure he'll be able to enjoy one or two games now when he comes to Old Trafford, just watching it as not as an ordinary fan, but more as a football fan.
Andy Ritchie, do stay with us, but for the moment, thank you, Andy Ritchie, former Manchester United player. I'm also joined here in Manchester City Centre tonight, where we're just waiting for the bus to get to where we are, which is the Town Hall in Albert Square. I'm joined by Mark Ogden of the Daily Telegraph, who broke the news that Sir Alex was retiring after 26 years of the